Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your TVC News of August 21st, 2020. Tonight's headlines: stable COVID cases level in Eastern Ontario, new visitor center in the Forêt-la-Rose, another unfortunate business closure, a virtual tour of the Rockland Fire Station, and the conclusion to a police investigation in the region. The Eastern Ontario Health Unit announced this week that the number of positive COVID-19 cases remains stable in Eastern Ontario. The number of people who have received a positive diagnosis remains at 180. 118 cases of COVID-19 are reported in the United Counties of Prescott and Russell. The United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry has 37 cases, and only 25 cases have been reported in the Cornwall area. 4 cases remain active, 2 in the United Counties of Prescott-Russell and 2 in Stormont, Dundas, Glengarry. However, Dr. Roumiliotis of the Eastern Ontario Health Unit reiterated once again that vigilance is required, because the possibility of a second wave is far from remote. The Eastern Ontario Health Unit is now focused on working with schools, districts to refine their school startup plans for September, and with child care operators who expect to have more dependent children once many parents return to work. Dr. Roumiliotis also confirmed that the Eastern Ontario Health Unit will monitor any outbreaks in schools or daycares and inform the public when such incidents occur. However, Dr. Roumiliotis expressed concern and wondered if they are doing everything possible to protect children. According to what Dr. Roumiliotis said yesterday about whether or not to send your child to school is neither a good nor a bad decision. He said that this is a question of what is good for your child or young person or for your family. Dr. Roumiliotis said that the decision to send a child to school or not should be made based on what seems to be ideal scenario for the family. He says that in either cases, the child will have to adapt. Families will have to take several factors into account, such as the health of the child or the health of those close to the child. Adrienne McEwen, who is president of the OSSTF's Upper Canada Teachers Bargaining Unit, has serious questions about the health and safety of students and teachers. She has written to the Ontario English School Board, explaining that the board must take responsibility for the entire school day, including outside the school. She points out that there are serious gaps in the plans to reopen the UCDSB. At the end of the school day, before arriving home, every student in every high school will be exposed to more than 100 direct and indirect contacts, in clear violation of health and safety regulations. UCDSB secondary school teachers are asking the school board to write a plan that respects the remoteness as defined by the local health unit and the contact tracing as required by the Minister of Education. Changing topic a little from COVID-19, the Eastern Ontario Health Unit confirms that there is a first human case of the West Nile virus infection in the region this summer. To date, there have been no positive result of the disease in a mosquito pool in the Eastern Ontario Health Unit territory, but the human case of infection indicates that the virus is present along the local mosquito population. Dr. Paul Roumiliotis explained that this first human case of West Nile virus infection confirms that the virus continues to be a concern for the Eastern Ontario Health Unit. He urges residents to be cautious and take the necessary precautions to protect themselves and their family. Frontline workers play a vital role in the health of Canadians. That is why the Honorable Marco Mendicino, Minister of Refugee, Immigration and Citizenship Canada, after several demonstrations across the country, announced a temporary measure that provides a pathway to permanent residence for refugee claimants working in the healthcare sector during the pandemic. Under this measure, refugees claimants from across Canada who work on the front lines and provide direct patient care in healthcare facilities will be able to apply for permanent residence if they meet the criteria. This approach takes into account people who have a precarious immigration status and meets an urgent need while risking their lives to care for others in Canada. As with all humanitarian and compassionate applications, and in keeping with the government's commitment to family reunification, family members of the principal applicant who are in Canada will also be included in the application and will be granted permanent residence if the application is approved. Persons whose claims for refugee protection have been determined ineligible or whose claims have been withdrawn or abandoned will not be allowed to apply. The construction of a new visitor center in the Forêt-la-Rose in the Limoges sector has begun. This $980,000 project will allow users to rent bicycles and snowshoes, for example. Users will also be able to take advantage of a relaxation area and a source of drinking water. The construction of this visitor center represents an important partnership between the United Counties of Prescott-Russell and the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario. FedDev Ontario invested $350,000 through the Canadian Experience Fund, while the UCPR added $630,000 for road upgrades, parking, and stormwater management improvements to the project. According to Pierre Leroux, president of the UCPR Council, the new visitor center is expected to open this fall. Francis Drouin, member of Parliament for Glengarry Prescott-Russell, is pleased to support this important project for the community of Prescott and Russell. He believes that the construction of a visitor center in the Forêt-la-Rose will allow tourists to access and enjoy the natural beauty of this geographically rich region. And another victim of COVID-19, the local natural products store, Mag Store, which was established in Bourget in December 2019, has just announced its definitive closure. Highly appreciated by the population, this store offered hydroponic products and several other products from local merchants. But COVID-19 has changed the plans of the owner, Frédéric Miner. As he says, the clientele has been decreasing more and more, which has led to a drop in revenue. The Clarence Rockland YMCA reopens its doors. Swimming pools, exercise room, residents will now once again have access to it. And 1 year after the inauguration and visit of the Bourget Fire Station, which attracted a lot of people, it is the turn of the Rockland Fire Station to invite residents to a visit, but this one is virtual. To address the COVID-19 pandemic, the municipality decided to opt for a video format published on YouTube. Rockland's new fire station, like the one in Bourget, houses both an ambulance station of the Prescott-Russell Emergency Service and a fire station for Rockland. The amount allocated by the City of Clarence-Rockland for the constructions of these two fire stations amounts to more than $9 million. Little shuffle in cabinet. Last Monday, Finance Minister the Honourable Bill Morneau handed his resignation from cabinet, but he also resigned his seat in the legislature. Let's not forget that Mr. Morneau has been under investigation by the Ethics Commissioner over the We Charity affair that has affected the image of the current Liberal government. In order to replace him, Prime Minister Trudeau selected the Honourable Chrystia Freeland to succeed him at the helm of the finance portfolio. With these new responsibilities, the portfolio of intergovernmental affairs that was previously held by Mrs. Freeland has now been shifted in the capable hands of the Honourable Dominique Leblanc. Mr. Leblanc will remain President of the Queen's Privy Council for Canada. Prime Minister Trudeau, after making those appointments, requested with the Governor-General that the legislature be prorogued until September 23rd, thus ending the legislative session. This action kills all bills that had not been approved by Parliament, suspends all committees, including the one investigating in the We Charity affair. Parliament will resume on September 23rd with a new speech of the throne where MPs will be able to affirm or rebuke their confidence in the government. More details to come on this matter. And the Russell OPP has proceeded to arrest two Ottawa men in the murder of David Tobin that occurred in Rockland on July 23rd. 20-year-old Hassan Dahis and 19-year-old Mohamed Moussa have both been arrested on one count of first-degree murder and one count of attempted murder. They both appeared in front of the court in L'Orignal, Ontario on Thursday. It is unknown at this moment whether they pleaded guilty or not guilty. And we remind the population that the OPP is still looking for information in this matter. If you have some information, feel free to contact Crime Stoppers. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me for another TVC News. See something that could make the headlines? Feel free to send us an email at nouvelles@tvc22.ca. Once again, that's nouvelles@tvc22.ca. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next week.